The shoplifting in LA is up 81% compared to the year before. You're actually holding the criminals accountable by socially shaming them.
We were just getting fed up. Our security bill was $150,000 last year.
Wow.
We never had that. The police have told us, well, there's nothing we can do. So I just get the video surveillance and blast them on my Instagram.
What kind of people were coming and stealing?
Very wealthy people that start shoplifting. The people you wouldn't suspect are doing it now. They realize, well, if everyone else can do it and I'm paying taxes and they're not getting arrested, so I'll do it. There's no consequences. Just shove it in your bag. What are they going to do? The police aren't going to come, but then when it goes on Instagram, they freak out. It's horrible that we have to do this, but it has curtailed the shoplifting tremendously.
My guest today is Fraser Ross, owner of Kitson, a specialty retail store in Los Angeles. Shoplifting is on the rise in LA. Today he'll share with us his experiences on how he was able to minimize shoplifting in his store. We also talked to Dr. Ashley Massimino, who's a psychologist, to understand the reasons behind the rise in shoplifting.
The backdrop of LA is going down fast. The uniqueness is going down fast. Every day I hear stores closing. If this doesn't stop, there won't be small specialty stores, which is the backbone of the American economy. 85% are small businesses. There's just no reason to open a store in California. They're not adhering to entrepreneurship, for sure. You're better to go to Florida or Texas.
I'm Siyamak. Welcome to California Insider. Fraser, it's great to have you on. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You own a store in Los Angeles, multiple stores. It's a really nice brand name. And you have dealt with shoplifting firsthand. And we got some report recently that the shoplifting in LA is up 81% compared to the year before. That's the reported shoplifting, which it says 12,000 incidents per year, which means probably about 30 per day, 33 per day. Can you tell us what's happening in LA? You are on the ground, you're seeing what's happening in the stores.
I'm sure it's much more, the percentage is much more higher because if someone shoplifts in your store, you have to fill out a form online. That's a lot of effort and a lot of work. And where does that form go? And if it's under 950, 949, nothing really gets done. It would have to be grand theft for someone to investigate. We have cameras in all the stores and we can monitor if the inventory is missing and we know the type of customer that comes through the door. So we've just taken it into our own hands now because the police have told us, well, there's nothing we can do and I don't want the employees to come up to the customer. So I just get the video surveillance and blast them on my Instagram. Does anyone know who these people are? Usually, within a few hours, we find out who they are, and then we put their name up with it. We try to get their Instagram handle and say, listen, we've caught you on video taking merchandise. They usually don't respond to it because they think, well, what are they going to do? But then when it goes on Instagram, they freak out because what we're doing is the new mugshot. Like, you can get arrested for shoplifting. It could be hidden. It could get erased. But once we put you on our Instagram and hashtag you, your friends, your family, your co-workers, your ex-co-workers, everyone knows what you did. But if you get arrested in some store for shoplifting, no one really knows what you did. But now, everyone knows what you did. The people that live beside you, the places where you work, your employers, they're very cautious of you now.
Only you guys have started this. Can you tell us, how did you come up with the idea?
In the old days, people would write a bounce check and people would post a check on the cash register. Well, this is kind of like the new with the social media. It's a new way to reach a bigger audience. And we were just getting fed up. We were the first store, I believe, to stop no masks in the store. And that would be almost 2 years now on one of our stores. Because, the people would come in and try to steal well over $1,000, but they're covered with a hoodie and a mask. You couldn't see them. And the police says, could you identify these people on camera? Not 100% with the mask and a hoodie. All we get is the eyes. But if their face is there, completely their face, we'll be able to decide in a lineup who they are.
Can you explain to us what kind of people were coming and stealing and what was it like?
It's not your usual suspects. It's not groups of people. It was very wealthy people that started shoplifting. A lady came in with, an $8,000 Chanel bag. I don't know if it's real or fake, if she's trying to impress someone that she has a bag or it's real. But there's no consequences. Just shove it in your bag. What are they going to do? The police aren't going to come. If they see me, we'll put it back. So there's no consequences. A 70-year-old man stealing that's involved in AA. This weekend we saw 2 adults with 2 underage kids, and the underage kids took the hair clip off the packaging and shoved the clip into her fanny pack while the parents are in the store or adults are accompanying her. And it's even gone to that level because everyone realizes, what are they going to do? Nothing's going to get done. But I feel like this, outing them on Instagram and social media, they're going to be cautious. Don't go to that store, because if they get you on camera, your mother's going to know about what you're doing. Your father's going to know. Your grandmother's going to know. So your image is going to get portrayed, and that goes on for the rest of their life. He said, well, we Googled your name, and, you were caught shoplifting in a store, so I don't know if we can have you work here. So I think they're ruining their life more than being stuck in jail for 20 years.
So in these cases, you're catching them on camera, and then you go and find out who they are. How do you do that?
Well, through social media, we go out to our base and ask, does anyone know who these people are? Some of the people will know, and they come forward and say, we know who this person is.
So you post it publicly?
Yeah, publicly. The shoplifting, shoving it in the bag, showing what they're doing, the crime. Not just browsing the store. We show them putting it in the bag and then leaving the store with the merchandise. So it's stolen, not putting it back. One girl, she stole over $1,000. Oh, I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed. I'm like, well, bring the merchandise back. But some of them might have resold it already, or stealing it for friends or whatever, so they have to come back and pay for the merchandise, or some of them return the merchandise. One girl and her friend, both of them were stealing it. It came kind of funny on Instagram because he stole a baseball cap that says, does it look like I fly economy? We have a lot of funny things, and obviously, that got the attention of people. It wasn't just a basic t-shirt he was selling. So the items they're stealing have kind of a personality to them and driven to their personality. It's horrible that we have to do this, but it has curtailed the shoplifting tremendously, tremendously. Because we know what's in the stores. Since we've posted these videos and put them on our window of the new mugshot, people are realizing, I wouldn't be stealing from them, because they're going to get your picture and they're going to put it on social media.
So when you say they wanted to come back and pay for it, can they afford it? Because we have been told that some of this shoplifting is done by people that have nothing.
That's false, because even in the days before all this happened, I've seen ladies with Birkin bags for $10,000 shoving cashmere sweaters in their bag. No, that's false. It could be an addiction to that race, but now everyone realizes that there's no consequences. So I'll try it if it works. And once you start, you don't give up until you get caught. So it's very wealthy people. The Palisades store, which is a small store in a community that you feed off of very wealthy people in that area. Malibu, Brentwood, Bel Air, Palisades. A lady apparently has a house 4 blocks from the store, a $5 million house, and she's shoving things in her bag. They realize, well, if everyone else can do it, and I'm paying taxes, and they're not getting arrested, so I'll do it. So it's the people you wouldn't suspect are doing it now.
Did you try to go the police route? Did you ever deal with the police and the LAPD or other police forces?
Well, if you're assaulted, the police will come. If there's an assault while they're stealing, they will come. But other than that, they're not coming for a shoplifting instance. They're not even coming when they break into people's houses when they're sleeping, really. So they're not going to do anything. They don't have time for this petty theft. In Beverly Hills, they're much better than anywhere else in LA. They will come to you. There's drones in Beverly Hills. If you see a shoplifter, leave the store with a baseball cap, call the police, a non-emergency number, and they get the drones down on them. And they find them. A guy took a baseball cap from Beverly Hills, walked down 5 doors, in line to get an espresso coffee or, from the coffee shop, and the police come up and you have a receipt for that hat. They'll do it in Beverly Hills. You're much more protected in Beverly Hills than you were anywhere else in Los Angeles.
How did you find out that things have changed with shoplifting? Was there a moment you realized that these kind of people that are stealing are different than you thought before?
Well, it was, the attention of the manager of the store that said, it's a small store. When you have one of our stores is very small, 900 square feet. In a small store, you know all the inventory, what should be there at all times. When you have a larger store, it's harder to keep track of the inventory because it can move around the store. But there you know it, you know all the customers that come in. It's a local area. It's different in LA where the tourist trade is coming through the door. And I don't think the tourists are stealing because they could get on the next flight back home and they won't be allowed in the country. It's the local people. There was that one lady that was caught $8 million in her basement and she was sending people in to steal for her. That's another issue too, because people are coming in, taking pictures of merchandise and having other people come in and steal it for them.
So you have been able to stop this, in a sense, in your store, right?
Right.
Did the theft go down to nothing, or?
As far as we can see, other than this young girl, teenager girl, taking a hair clip on the weekend, we haven't noticed anything.
And did you guys post her on?
No, we haven't done. Well, she's a child, but we're going to do a story about the parents that were with them. We have the video of her putting it in her fanny pack. But the young kids might not be on social media, news social media outlets and see everything. They might be on just their favorite celebrity social outlets. And I don't think there's, consequences, and they really know that.
So in that case, the parents, you would kind of get the parents.
Well, right, yeah. I mean, the parents have to be responsible for their children's actions if they're under an age and they're with them.
I think what we're seeing is there's a subset of society that really hasn't had the type of role modeling and parenting that most of us have had. And so when you're missing certain things growing up, like you're missing critical corrective experiences as a child, you're much more willing to do things differently as an adult. So, for example, I told you a story where when I was a child, I was 6 years old, and I stole a coloring book from a drugstore with my mom. She didn't see me. It was a My Little Pony coloring book. And I got home, and she found it, and she asked me what happened, and I told her that I had taken it. And she said, okay, we're going to go back to the store. So we drove back to the store. She said, you're going to tell the manager that you stole it. You're going to apologize for taking it, and you're going to give it back, right? And then I got disciplined when I got home. So 4 different things happened to me. It was a very core critical memory for me where I was so embarrassed by what I had done, and I was so shamed by it, which was a good thing because I never did it again, ever in my entire life. That was a critical period, and we know from research and from theories of moral development of how we decide to do things like based on right and wrong, that there's this critical period between like 5 and 9 years old where if we don't have those experiences from our parents, where our parents are teaching us right and wrong, like we're not being disciplined or punished or rewarded or validated for doing the right thing or punished for doing the wrong thing, then we don't know that that's the right and wrong thing to do, and we're willing to cross those lines later as adults. So there are people that don't have that type of parenting. It's not an excuse, but it does help explain why these things happen. And so the answer is the same for adults. So if we have adults who are willing to do these things, right? Because 1, I can get away with it. 2, nothing's going to happen to me. 3, there's no bail, there's no bond. I can get out right away, even if I am caught. And 4, if I get arrested and charged, nothing happens. Maybe it's probation. And for a felon or a criminal, that's nothing for them. That's something they're willing to embrace, for the sake of the benefit of stealing the items. And so the answer now is not to, they call it hugging a thug. Like the answer is not to just love the felon or love the criminal. In order to care for that person, you really have to understand this person's missing these elements in their lives. And so they're missing the boundaries. They're missing the corrective experience. They need to hear the word no, and they need the associated punishment to understand the consequence. And so to go soft on crime now, I think, is a mistake, because it's teaching people like we're just going to push the line out further and you can continue to do these things and get away with it.
Folks, you've probably been hearing me talk about Verify for a while now. Verify has been getting a ton of phone calls from you, and I thank you for supporting an investment that actually helps people. A lot of people are talking about this investment, and I like to review the basics with you. First off, yes, it's true. You can earn up to 10.25% fixed rate of return that's not correlated to the stock market or to the Fed. You can turn your income on or off, compounded, whatever you choose, and there are absolutely no fees. There are no restrictions on your principal if you ever need your money back, and you'll get your monthly statement with no surprises. If you are not sure if you can trust this economy, this secure collateralized portfolio may be a very good option for you. Just go to investYrefi.com. That's invest, the letter Y, then refi.com. Folks, I take my endorsements very seriously. If you're looking for a solid investment that helps people, contact my friends at YRefi and then tell them Siyamak Karami sent you. Now let's go back to the interview. So you've stopped the shoplifting, but do you think it's going up everywhere else, and what's the impact?
If this doesn't stop, there won't be small specialty stores, which is the backbone of the American economy. 85% are small businesses. You can see what Target has to do now, close their self-checkout, lock everything up. There won't be specialty stores. Specialty stores make the DNA of LA, make the DNA of Beverly Hills. You can go anywhere in the world and shop at a Zara. It's in your hometown. Any of the luxury brands, they're all in every city where you go. But you need unique stores, unique restaurants, unique attractions to get the tourists to come back. They want to see originality when they come. So we're one of these stores that have been around for 24 years. We've, been in movies and about, celebrities and a lot of celebrities shop there. And we embrace the California culture. We sell California merchandise. Not stuff you would get in the Santa Monica Pier, but hand embroidered, pillows that take 3 weeks to make for $200.
In terms of monetary, some people say insurance will cover this stuff. Can you explain to us what's the damage to you guys?
Well, during the 2020 riots, one of our stores was looted for about $400,000 at retail. We got it back from the insurance company. They give you the cost value back, not the retail value. So it's, if you're just getting your cost back, how are you paying your overhead? But the insurance company dropped us right next. So if you claim too much on your insurance, and a lot of people are having a hard time getting insurance. If you have high-end jewelry, they don't want to insure it because that's a quick smash and grab in the case and take it quickly. So the price points are different what you can carry now. You have to be very cautious of what you carry.
So you think each store is losing a few $1,000s a month or more? And do they add to their prices? Do we pay for it as consumers?
We carry third-party goods. We don't make our own goods. So it's from other parties. So we have to be competitive what Nordstrom's is selling or Bloomingdale's or any other specialist. So we can't raise the prices because whatever the prices are set, the third party sets the prices, not us.
Can you explain to us what does it look like for stores? Do you know what these numbers are?
Yes, Target and Nordstrom's, you could see them on video just taking it. That's in the millions, probably hundreds of millions for Target. For us, it was tens of thousands till we stopped.
And in your opinion, if we don't deal with this, so you mentioned there are not going to be any specialty stores. Do you think there's going to be a bigger impact on LA if the shoplifting continues growing at this rate?
There's lots of problems in LA that's growing. The homeless situation, we have tents on our street everywhere. That deters people to come out because they don't want to be accosted wherever you go. It's all over LA and it's all over California. The problem is that people won't open businesses because the insurance is going to be way too high, the labor is going to be way too high. Your security, we have now security. We've cut it down a bit, but our security bill was $150,000 last year.
Wow.
We never had that.
Wow.
Just to have the presence there and to watch the customers. So, small stores can't afford that. On top of their rent that's increasing because no one's taking the spaces, the landlords are in a position. There's pockets that are doing well, but there's pockets that the stores, there's just no reason to open a store in California. They're not adhering to entrepreneurship, for sure. You're better to go to Florida or Texas.
Can you tell us what is it like? You said there's struggles. Can you tell us what businesses are going through?
Well, every day you're on pins and needles. You don't know what's going to happen. You could have a slew of shoplifters that day. Is your insurance going to go up more than it is? Is the security charges going to go up more than it is? Are people going to stop shopping in LA? Are they going to go outside LA? It's a little bit different in Beverly Hills. But the rest of LA, Montana has got so many empty stores. Santa Monica, 3rd Street Promenade. I used to have a store there. It was one of our best stores ever. You couldn't survive on 3rd Street Promenade anymore with the homeless and the crime.
Fraser, is it like when you start talking about issues, does it mean that you're getting involved in politics and these celebrities want to stay out of it?
I mean, yes and no, because we still have the celebrity shop in the store. I don't know if I'm involved in politics. I'm involved in the agenda for small business. I try to stand up for small business and the obstacles we're adhering to or have to go against. But I always say these pictures of these shoplifters on my Instagram, it's much greater than getting arrested. Arrested, you'll be out of jail in 2 seconds and you can wipe out your record. This goes on for the rest of their life.
Why are you being so vocal about it?
Well, I've been in LA for 24 years and I've seen the ups and downs, the 2020 recession, from the looting, and I see that, people don't want to walk out your store today with lots of bags anymore. If you go to the luxury stores, do you want it in a plain paper bag? Or, the shopping cycle of the consumer is different too. And to get them to spend in your store is a big effort today because we have online. And, I don't have to risk being attacked by a homeless person to go out shopping. I'll just stay at home. They don't like to shop at night when it's dark. I mean, the parking structure next to us doesn't have cameras. I mean, we've asked the city, they should have cameras in there because people are getting accosted going to their cars. It's just a problem that I don't know will ever change unless we get rid of these policies. And the 950 is a big problem. You should be arrested for anything you steal.
Why are so many people leaving California? It wasn't long ago, people from everywhere wanted to move to the Golden State to enjoy a better life. Sadly, the standard of living has been dropping in the past decade. Are you like me and wonder why this is happening? I'm Siyamak, host of California Insider. In our film, Leaving California, The Untold Story, I take you an intimate journey of love, loss, tragedy, and hope as residents face the prospect of leaving their beloved state. Everyday people like you tell their stories about why they have to move out of the state even though they don't want to. Experts and policymakers also give insights about what's happening behind the scenes. Together, we get to the root cause of this exodus. Go to leavingcalifornia.com to view the first 15 minutes of the film for free. By watching Leaving California, you can be part of the solution. Again, go to leavingcalifornia.com. You came from Canada, right?
Right.
You had a store in Canada and
Yeah.
you decided to start in LA.
Yeah.
And now you're fully in LA. And what was it like in LA back in the day when you came? And why did you come to LA?
Well, I mean, I came for business reasons, the weather, like a lot of people come to California for the sunshine, the land of opportunity, much greater, the 5th biggest economy in the world. You can become an international brand based in LA. I don't know, it's harder maybe in a small town or something. California and LA was a good start. And when I came, I don't think for the first 4 or 5 years that I never saw anything shoplifted, because the consequences were much greater. And we didn't have social media back then to out people and so this is what they're doing, shoving in their bag. I mean, there was cameras, but where would you put it?
And this was in the 2000s?
2000,
You realized there was
yeah,
not a lot of shoplifting.
Yeah, 2000s.
Did you ever think LA would become like this when you started here?
At the time, it was very hard to get retail real estate in LA. Everything was full. Everyone wanted their brand in LA. La La Land, celebrity shopping. Back in the day, anything, they could get press out of LA so easily. I mean, it was like New York. Everyone wanted to be in New York. And, LA and New York, these two big cities, and it diverted to Miami to become the hot spot.
Have you thought of ideas for LA residents, how they can turn this around?
Well, one is that they have to vote. I mean, the young are not voting, but they have to vote at the election. And they've got to stand beside their independent small stores. But we're dealing with the pandemic that got people used to shopping on Amazon, even though they're laying off people. Amazon was the big winner in the pandemic. So they've got to get back into stores and supporting or there won't be there. And there won't be places for, their children to work after school. The backdrop of LA is going down fast. The uniqueness is going down fast. Every day I hear stores closing because I'm moving, I can't do it here, it's too costly, I'm sick of people stealing from me, and we can't do anything. I've gone up to people the salespeople, I said, that gentleman's stealing, shoving stuff in their bag, and the answer is, well, we can't do anything.
Now, do you have any recommendations for other retail owners, small business owners like yourselves?
I think some people are now putting it on their Instagram, the theft, they've seen it. Might have been a leader or a pioneer of this, which I'm glad if I am. But I think they're really, okay, it's okay, he's doing it, so I can do it now. And they're not alienating customers, they're alienating the thieves, which is the key to this whole thing.
So you guys are starting to bring the culture of accountability through shame publicly.
Yeah, I think it's very important because no one else is doing it. And I think these people that we've been outing on Instagram, one of the girls we found we said, who is this person? They gave us an Instagram handle. And then I went and watched her stories for a couple of days, and she was selling sunglasses, $500 sunglasses. She was selling everything on her stories, stolen merchandise. And everyone says she's been doing it for a long time. That's what people do. And I contacted a LA detective, and I said, I think you should look into this because this is a grand theft now. She got arrested. She's wearing an ankle monitor, and her court date's coming up.
And your products, a lot of them are made in California, right?
Yes, I mean, a lot of them are made locally in LA. There's young designers that are coming up all the time, and they can't make their stuff in volume, and they're overseas, and they want to make it in California, so we really try to support young, up-and-coming California designers. I think it's important. We might get resistant with the price point because people are looking for the best possible price, but this is what we're doing, and the consumer is supporting me and a California business.
So Fraser, this is very interesting. The approach that you've taken, you're actually holding the criminals accountable by socially shaming them. Hopefully we'll see the retail theft go down in LA. And it was great to have you on California Insider.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I hope people realize what small business has to do today to survive.
We have an exciting news for you. At California Insider, we created a new product. It's called California Insider Opinion. This is where our insiders and experts across the state are actually telling you what's going on behind the headlines. When there's a breaking news, a big issue, important issue happening in California, they're gonna come on the screen and tell you what's happening behind the scenes. And these are like 7 to 10 minutes of opinion formats where the guests are talking to the camera directly, telling you what's happening.
You're paying a tax increase of tens of thousands of dollars every year as a condition of keeping what you already own.
Make sure to look at the description below because you want to sign up on our newsletter because a lot of these opinions might be very sensitive that some people in the social media platforms may not like. So we're putting them in the newsletter on our website so you can have them. These opinions will actually help you understand the political and policy landscape of California. We highly recommend you follow it.